Hello Opals users. In this short tutorial I'm going to run through how to upload ebooks from sources like Project Gutenberg, Feed Books, etc. Typically these are ebooks that the copyright has expired and they are free and easily downloadable. I will use Project Gutenberg in this video as my resource. So I'm logged into Opals and I'm going to go to Project Gutenberg and find a book to bring into my system. So here I am at Project Gutenberg, and the Gutenberg URL is www.gutenberg.org. I think, if I'm not mistaken, they have over 40,000 titles. So I am going to just search for something in philosophy. You can browse the catalog, go to different sections, book categories, etc. Search over on the far left. They have quite a number of books for children, Christmas books, all sorts of things. Okay, so here's a bunch of philosophy books. I think I will download some light reading, The Critique of Pure Reason by Immanuel Kant. So I'm going to click the title, and then Project Gutenberg gives me an option. And I'm going to take the ePub. You'll always want the ePub. You don't want a Kindle or a plain text. You want an ePub. And I'm going to take mine with images. So I'm going to click the title. And this will allow me to put it on my computer, then to upload it into Opals. So I'm going to save this file. And I have a little folder for ebooks. Well, actually, I'll just put it in. I would suggest making a folder for yourself. I'm just going to put it in my Opals 2018 data. By the way, you can change this name so you know what the book is. So I will put the author and just critique. And I'm putting it in my Opals data file. You can make a ebook folder, whatever you like. There we are. So we've gone to Project Gutenberg, we found a book we liked, we clicked the title of the book, it brought us to this screen, and you always want an ePub with or without images. Okay, now I'm back at my library, and I'm going to go to the Opals ebook tab, and I will not be choosing import. That's for the Opals supplied ebooks, which are over about 1,800 over. Right now we have about, I'd say maybe 1,850, I'm not sure, but I'm going to choose upload for sources outside of Opals. So I'm going to upload. I'll click upload, and we will then go and find the MARC record I just saved from Project Gutenberg. So I will click browse, and I will go to my Opals 2018 folder. And here's my Kant's critique, and you'll see the ebook image. So I will double click this. And now I'm going to click upload. It's The Critique of Pure Reason, and this is a free book, so I'll mark free. I'm going to put in PG for Project Gutenberg. You can put in whatever you like. You do not need a PO number, they're grayed out. You do not need number of simultaneous views because there isn't any number. As many people as like can read this book from your system, and there's no date purchased. It's a free book. So I put in PG for Project Gutenberg, and I will click Save. I click Save, and now we have a bit of a portion of the record. And here's just a little bit from Project Gutenberg telling you about the ebook. I'm going to move it to a second page because I wanted to see if there was a translator, a good tip. And I see that there is a translator for Mikkeljohn. So what I'm going to do is go out to Z-import and try to find this book. Now, the likelihood of finding The Critique of Pure Reason or many of these books from Gutenberg in an ebook format out in the world of MARC records is difficult. So usually you will find a book copy of a MARC record and edit it accordingly. We have help docs that we can send out to you to tell you what fields to pay attention to and the like, and I will spell that out in this clip as well. So I need the translator that'll help me find the correct edition of the book. I'm going to move it a page forward, and I see that here's a preface to the second edition, 1787, which might be a little clue as to finding the book. Okay, I'm going up to Z import. I will click Z import. I think I'll start with the Library of Congress for this particular book. It's a bit high-end. I'm not sure it'll be in the school's database. Maybe. I'm going to use anywhere, and I'm going to put Kant critique, and then I'm going to put the translator's name in here. And by the way, I'm using anywhere, so I can put with spaces things that pertain to this book, and using anywhere, it's a good chance of finding it. So I'll spell out the translator's name, and I'll click search, and we're using the Library of Congress. I didn't use an ISBN number. I used the author, the little bit of the title, and the translator. And here's the Critique of Pure Reason, and I see a number of them. So I'm just going to look around and just get an idea of what we have here, and I'm going to have to change the records anyway, so I don't know if I need an 1899 edition. I think I'll have a look at a newer edition, this Dover publication, and see what the record looks like. That's the one thing you'll have to do when you download ebooks from free ebook sources where the copyrights run out. You'll have to use most likely a book record and then change it a little bit. So I'm going to click the third one. It's 2018. It might be a good record. And I'll edit it accordingly for the ebook format. So here's the Critique of Pure Reason. I'm going to go down and first of all make sure it's the right translator. And it is translated. Okay, so this looks like a good title to use. I might edit some things here. In fact, I will edit some things. So I am going to use this record. Okay, but you'll have to strip the record of hard copy information because this ebook doesn't have pages. It doesn't necessarily have the same ISBN number and the like. So, I mean, you can choose to leave these here, but to be accurate, I'm going to remove them. So I'm going to click the Library of Congress number. Again, you can leave them, but you just want to make sure that you realize they're not for the ebook in hand. I'm going to remove the ISBN. I'm going to remove the second ISBN. I'm going to go down here. I'll leave the language codes. They don't affect it. Here's a Library of Congress call number. Here's the LC or the Dewey call number. There's the author. That all looks good. Here's a uniform title in German, showing that it was translated into English. Fine. Critique of Pure Reason, translated by Mickeljohn. The Dover Thrift Editions. This is an ebook, so we do not have the Dover Thrift Editions. We're just doing copy cataloging and using the record. So I'm going to delete that field. I'm going to delete everything here, the entire place of publication, publisher and place, because this again is an ebook and it wasn't published by them. I'm just using the record. Delete it. I'm going to delete the pagination and the size of the book. It doesn't exist physically. Delete. I'm going to go down here, this general note, the Dover edition. Meaningless to our record at hand. You might want to put in your own note if you like. But this is the Dover first edition note, so it's not meaningful for our record at hand. Now we're down to the subject headings: knowledge, theory of, causation, reason. These are all fine, and here this will open the ebook up. Just for the heck of it, I'm going to add a 690 just to show you. I'm going to add a data field. I'm going to put in a 690 subfield A, and just add philosophy, so the record is a bit more robust. So we've got philosophy there. We're all set with that. And the record looks great, so I'm going to go to the top. If you don't like this cover, or if the cover has publisher information, oftentimes I'll find a cover out on Google and save it on my machine and change it so it doesn't show Penguin Edition or Dover Edition. This one does show the Dover Edition right here. I see it. So to be exact, I'm just going to come up here. I'll just move my recording bar up a little bit so you can see this. Kant's Critique of Pure Reason in Google. Then I'll go and look at the images and find an image that will work for me that doesn't have publication information or Dover and things like that. So here we are, and I am just looking for a very bare bones. Let's see, this has the Penguin edition. This one is quite bare bones. I'm just going to look around a little bit. This one is good. I'll take this one. The Critique of Pure Reason, Manual Kant. I'm going to save it to my computer. So I'll save image as, and I'll save it in the same folder I had the ebook. And I'll call it the Critique. By the way, once you save the cover and add it to the book, you don't have to keep it in your folder, and nor do you have to keep the ePub in your folder. Once you've cataloged the book, you can clean your folders out. So I'm going back to my site. I'm going to click Change Cover, because that has the Dover edition. I'll browse, and there's the cover I would like. And again, once I'm done cataloging this, I can go and take this cover out of here and the ePub so I don't clutter up my computer. So I'm going to double click the cover and say OK, and you'll see that the cover changes. So we've already looked at the MARC record, and we already have an ebook right here, so I don't have to change the record type. Now I'm going to go to the holding record, and in my library we use E-book as a prefix. 121 would be the area in the Dewey Decimal for philosophy, and the item part is the first three letters of the author's last name, so I'll just put in K-A-N for Kant. Well, maybe I'll capitalize it, depending on the library. Okay, so I've got ebook as a prefix, so the students and faculty will know it's an ebook. 121 is the Dewey area for philosophy, and the first three letters of the author's last name. Now I'll put a barcode on. I suggest that you use the barcode management utility and set up a range of barcodes for ebooks. You will never print these barcodes because there's nothing to put them on, but it's nice to have a range set up. I usually call it ebooks, public domain, and Opals. So I'm going to click the white area. I'm going to go to the Opals and public domain ebooks. It knows the next number to use, and I use a prefix in front of my barcode of EBK, and the next one is 6. So I'll say OK. I'll just click OK. So just in review, I went to Project Gutenberg. I downloaded the ePub with images to a folder on my desktop. I then went to Opals, my Opals site, and I went to Opals ebook. I used upload. I found the record for the ePub that I downloaded from Gutenberg, added it to my system. Then I went out to Z-import and found a record that I guessed. I found a new 2018 Dover record, but then I stripped it in the bibliographic portion of all its hard copy information. I went to the holding record, and I use ebook as my prefix. 121 was in the record already, Kant, and then I have an ebook range of barcodes already set up. So I can just simply click Save, and it'll save the record. I've saved the record after the Z-import and editing the bibliographic information and putting it in my holdings information. Saved it, went back to the home page, and here it is under my new items. The Critique of Pure Reason with the call number, an option to preview the book or read the book. And all the books on Opals from Gutenberg or Opals ebooks are browser driven, so when you open them up to read, it'll open up another tab and let you go through the book. Go up here to the top, in the top right corner, and just go along and read the book. So once again, this was a review of adding a book from an outside source such as Project Gutenberg and the like. And we went to the Opals ebook tab. For outside sources, you use upload. And we brought the book in. Here it is, the Critique of Pure Reason. And you want to remember to strip off any hard copy information because this is an ebook. And it doesn't always, you won't find often these types of books out there in ebook format, so you'll have to use a book record and strip off hard copy or edition related information. Finally, it's always good to have your barcode management tools set up for ebooks, so I'll show you that briefly. Under Administration, Reports and Tools, in the Tools section, you'll see the barcode, range, and assignment tables right here. So I'll click that, and I suggest setting up a range of barcodes for ebooks. And I typically call it Opals and public domain ebooks. I have a prefix of EBK 0001. So here we are, we're looking at the Opals and public domain ebooks. EBK is a prefix, and I happen to use 0001 to 5000, and I've used 6 so far. So adding this in here, and it'll look like this, I'll show you. Opals and public domain, the barcode length, that's the 3 characters from the prefix and 4 numbers in the range. That's where we get 7. So that has to be accurate or they'll get a little messed up. So you just 3 in the prefix and however many you use here, and save it, and then you'll be able to use this range for your ebooks, as you'll never want to print them. You have nothing to put them on. I hope this short video tutorial has been helpful. We do have additional help docs that we can send to you, and if you have any questions, please call tech support or email us anytime. Thanks a lot.